see the opening slide here. We're talking about support doubles this morning. Some of you must think that the only word I know is double, because there are so many different kinds of doubles. Takeout doubles, Rosencrantz doubles, lead directing doubles. I mean, double. They're just everywhere. There's something called a DSI double, which stands for Do Something Intelligent, Partner. I love to use it, but I hate it when my partner uses it, because that means I have to do something intelligent. And that's a crapshoot, folks. So penalty doubles, negative doubles by responders, all kinds of stuff out there. But the support double belongs to one player. You know, takeout doubles belong to the person or to the opponents, particularly the one sitting in the direct seat following the opening bidder. The responders have negative doubles that they can use. Of course, that requires an intervening bid by an opponent. And the person sitting in the fourth chair also has a double. It's called a responsive double. It doesn't get used as much, but when it is appropriate to use it, it can impart a lot of very useful information. And then opener has a double. His double is the support double. Now, this means, when is it a support double? When does the opener use it? Well, obviously he can't open with a double, right? That gets somebody's hand in the air saying, "Director, come over here." So we know that can't be done. So you or your partner has opened the bidding at the 1 level. Responder bids one of a major suit. Now, whether or not left-hand opponent, that is the opener's left-hand opponent, bid has no bearing on this. He may bid, he may not. He may pass, he may do whatever. Responder then bids a major suit, I have seen people use support doubles over diamonds, but this is the exception rather than the rule. Now then, it comes around to the opener's right-hand opponent. He must make a call for the opener to be able to use a support double. Remember, you cannot double your partner. Your partner gets banned from the bidding if you do that. Ask me how I know that. I know it from personal experience. So, right-hand opponent intervenes with a double or a suit overcall that is below the rank of responder's major suit. If opener doubles, or if the person sitting to the opening bidder's right happened to double, then he can redouble. This is the support double or support redouble, if that is the action that he took. Now, what does it show? It's kind of important to know that, isn't it? Opener's double in that situation shows exactly 3-card support for responder's major suit. The double says absolutely nothing about how strong the opener's hand is. And in general, support doubles are played through the level of 2 spades. Simply, I think that's mostly because one never knows how strong responder's hand is when he responds in a new suit. His hand is unlimited at that point. If he has more than 6 or 8 points, then he can keep bidding. But in general, support doubles, once you get past the level of 2 spades, the double there is no longer a support double. So now here are some things to remember about the support double. When a pair has agreed to use the support double, this particular bid takes precedence over all other actions opener could take. Showing 3-card support for responder's major suit is more important than rebidding a 6-card suit if he happens to have one. It's more important than utilizing a reverse. We've talked about that recently to show hand shape and strength. It's more important then rebidding no trump to show a stop in the opponent's suit. When you use a support double, the failure to use it absolutely tells your partner that you have fewer than 3 cards in the suit, and partner will act accordingly. Now, if opener has 4 card support for opener's major, then he just goes right on down the road and bids like he normally, right? Because we tell everybody, hey, if you as opener have 4 card support for your partner's major suit, give him the good news and raise immediately. So you don't use the double when you have 4 card support. If you have an invitational level opening hand, you won't bid just 2 of the major, you'll jump to 3 of the major. That kind of thing. Now then, with fewer than 3 card support in responder's major, a pass or a bid of another suit denies 3 card support. Absolutely denies it. Opener can pass because opener's right hand opponent took action. That means responder gets another bid. So it's okay for opener to pass if he has no suitable call there. And we'll talk about what might be a suitable call in a minute here. So in other words, if he has a really ratty minimum hand, maybe he's tired of sitting there all day and not having a hand to bid, and he opened a really awful 11 count, the opener can conceivably pass because the responder will have another call. But that pass denies 3 card support. Remember that. Don't pass when you hold 3 card support when you're playing support doubles, even if your hand's terrible. You know, you and your partner can talk about your reasons for opening that awful hand later, but don't compound one mistake with another. If, regardless of how poor a decision you made when you opened that hand, if you use support doubles and you have 3 card support, put the double card on the table. Now, here are some examples. You know, I could talk and talk and talk. I think it's always more helpful to have examples here. So if opener bids 1 club and left-hand opponent passes, your partner says 1 heart, and now the right-hand opponent says 1 spade. Okay, double by opener says I have exactly 3 hearts. Conversely, if opener bids a club and left-hand opponent passes, responder bids a heart again. Right-hand opponent bids a spade, 2 hearts says I have exactly 4 hearts. Because if I had 5 of them, remember, I'd have opened 1 heart, wouldn't I? So if opener opens a diamond, left-hand opponent passes again, responder bids a heart, right-hand opponent bids a spade, 2 clubs is a natural bid, implies an unbalanced hand, or it may be a hand that might have bid 1 no trump, but doesn't have any help in spades, but has a second suit here. 2 clubs is natural, and it says, I do not have as many as 3 hearts in my hand, partner. Sorry. Now, put another way.
Susan, we've got a question that we probably need to answer before we get too far past it.
Okay.
Steve, you want to ask her that question?
Gloria, I have my hand up. This is Roy.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Roy.
Susan, in your notes, you said the right-hand opponent intervenes with the suit below the rank of the responders.
If it's a bid at the 2 level. I should have clarified that a little bit. Yes, I know spades are higher in rank, but it's a 1 level bid.
So if it's a 1 rank, it can be above. If it's a 2 level.
For instance, if instead of bidding 1 spade, the right-hand opponent had bid 2 spades, oops. We've gone past the 2 level of my partner's major suit, and we have agreed that at 2 spades, when we've got to go to the 3 level, a double here is not a support double.
All right, thank you. That answers the question.
I think Steve is on his computer that doesn't have a speaker or camera. his question was, instead of using the double, why don't you cube it if you have 3-card support, please?
Well, I'll tell you what, in this example, if I cubed 2 spades, then I force my partner to the 3 level, haven't I? What if he has 7 points and I have 12? Cubids are absolutely forcing. They take up a lot of bidding space. So you can end up too high if partner happens to have responded on only 6 or 7 points. I'm famous for beating the drum. If you have 6 points as responder, you need to bid. So we don't want to hang partner out to dry for following that rule. But if I cue bid, say for instance, I open a club, right, left-hand opponent passes, my partner bids a heart, my opponent bids a spade. Now to cue bid, I have to cue bid 2 spades. So you can see that this doesn't work out well because responder can have only 6 points. I think someone is confusing the cue bid by responder with this situation. Often cue bids are used by responder that can show 3-card support for an overcall, for instance. This is a different situation completely, and it implies a different number of points being held. So you use a double because a double takes up no bidding space, for one thing. So if your partner is really not very strong at all, you can stop at the 2 level. You can see if the opponent has overcalled spades. In order to cue bid spades, you're at the 3 level immediately. And that would mean that partner would have to have 11-ish points to be able to respond, just in case the next person to bid a suit and my partner wanted to cue bid it. Does that make sense? It puts a huge burden. If you play that way, it puts a huge burden on the partnership. It is a much better use of bidding space and all to use the support double, because you really don't give anything up in using a double there to show support. A penalty double there to double a low level contract by the opponents is virtually never used. You see very, 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 very few penalty doubles with low level contracts. Most generally, when you see that, it's because one of a pair has passed a takeout double to convert it to penalty. And so the double itself wasn't intended as penalty, it was just converted. Okay, now then.
Thank you. Thank you.
If opener bids one of any suit, let's call it a grape. Left-hand opponent makes any call, bid, pass, or double. Responder bids one of a major suit. One no trump or any bid at the 1 or 2 level in a suit that is lower ranking than the responder's suit. Now I'm going to get into whether this one no trump bid here is strong and natural, like the 15 to 17 type. You don't see that very often because when you have 2 bidding opponents here and your partner has passed and you're holding as many as 15 points, you have to figure that your partner doesn't have very much at all, and that stepping into the auction may be deadly here. So take that no trump there with a grain of salt. There is a bid called the sandwich no trump that enjoyed quite a bit of popularity 10 or 12 years ago. And what it is called sandwich because it's stuck in between 2 bidding opponents. We know that the opener's already bid, we know the responder's already bid, so it's called sandwich. It's sandwiched in between 2 bids. And what it is a lightish takeout double of the 2 unbid suits. It was very popular for a while, but it seems to have fallen off here in the last 5 or 6 years. So you don't see it very often anymore. That kind of no trump is a different animal from the typical 15 to 17. So now, if the opener chooses to use the support double at a level higher than 2 spades, it shows extra values. In other words, he has more than the minimum opening hand. Or if you want to, you can use that double as showing extra values, but may or may not have 3-card support. In other words, opener's telling his partner, I have extra values over here. I have more than a minimum opener. So feel free to take another call. Your choice. In other words, right here, 1 diamond, pass, 1 heart, your rude right-hand opponent jumps in with a preemptive 3 clubs. Double by opener says, I have better than a minimum, partner. But according to your agreement, it may or may not show 3-card support. Some pairs may choose to say, oh, that double should show 3-card support anyway. But when you use the support double at a level above 2 spades, opener promises extras. That's one particular adaptation. Now, we all know that there are times when a support double doesn't apply. Now, support doubles are off when either the opener or responder has bid no trump. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You have other ways of showing 3-card support in those situations. Now, if advancer, that is the opener's right-hand opponent, bid a strong no trump, support doubles don't apply because the double of a strong no trump conventionally is for penalty. You have bid, your partner has bid. By the time you give that no trump bidder credit for those for at least 15 points, most of the time you can pretty well figure out that his partner is broke. You know, there are only 40 points in the deck. If you can account for 36 of them, at least, then you know that no trump bidder's partner is has gotten the short end of the stick on this hand. Now, opener is not required to use the support double. If by partnership agreement, the opener has a really weak hand and it's balanced, you know, with 3-card support, you'd like to have a little bit of shape somewhere to help partner be able to rust some losers in your hand. If he has 3-card support and a really poor quality 12 points, you know, or maybe you opened a hand that was marginal because colors were favorable, opponent's vulnerable and you're not, then if you think it's appropriate, you could pass with a weak balanced hand because responder gets another call. So let's do a little bit of practicing here. Got 8 examples. Which ones of these are support doubles? Let's look at number 1. 1 club by opener, 1 heart by responder, 1 spade overcall by west, and then double by north. Is that a support double?
Yes.
Yes. Number 2. 1 club by north, 1 spade by responder, 3 diamonds by west, preemptively. Double by north. Is this a support double?
No.
Only by partnership agreement, right? It would show extra values by opener. If you decide that, yeah, okay, I'm all right with using a support double at levels higher than 2 spades, as long as opener has extra values, then this would be one. But under normal circumstances, this double would be penalty. The next one, north opens a diamond, south bids 1 spade, west bids 2 hearts, north doubles. Is that a support double?
Yes.
Yes, it is. 1 no trump by north, 1 diamond by east, 1 spade by south, 2 diamonds by west, double. Is this a support double?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. East's call here has no bearing on whether that's a support double. The only time that north can use a double is if west bids. He raised his partner's suit. That's fine. You know, we don't care. The level is below 2 spades. North has 3-card spade support, so he doubles. 1 diamond by north, 1 spade by east, 2 hearts by your partner. 2 spades by West. Now, double by North. What do we think about this one? This one's a little different, isn't it? First off, how many hearts does South have?
5.
5. Yeah. So I think that this double, I mean, to show 3 card support, maybe he's a dead minimum opening hand. Now, South still promises, this is not a 2-over-1 auction because there's been an interference, but South still promises 10 points for responding at the 2 level. So if indeed North had 3 hearts, I don't know why he wouldn't just bid 3 hearts here instead of 2 spades, unless he's an absolute dead rock bottom minimum for his hand, and he wants to tell his partner that. I think this is something that you and your partner should discuss. This is at 2 spades. So this would force your partner to the 3 level. So a lot of people would say, no, this is not a support double. It's a do something intelligent double. Number 6, 1 club by North, 1 heart by East, 1 spade by South, double by West. Is that a support double?
No.
No, why not?
Not the open.
It's not the opener. That's right. North was the opener. This is what's known as a responsive double. It is the double used by the person sitting in the 4th chair, but this is not a support double. For instance, North now knows that South has 5 spades, doesn't he? That's assuming you play negative doubles. Remember, 1 heart by the opponent here, 1 spade by South says, I have 5 spades. If I'd had only 4, I'd have used the negative double. What this particular bid shows here is that I don't have hearts, but I do have something in diamonds if you do. Now then, number 7, 1 club by North, pass by East, 1 spade by South, double by West, redouble by North. What is that?
Support redouble.
Yes.
Support redouble, showing 3 card spade support. If your right-hand opponent doubles, you just pull out the redouble card. Shows the same thing. Now then, finally, 1 club by North, pass by East, 1 heart by South, 1 no trump by West, double by North. Is that a support double?
No.
No, it is not, because this is not a suit bid or a double. This double conventionally, or I guess you would say, I'm not necessarily conventionally, but as it's generally used, would be a penalty double of 1 no trump here. Bids of strong no trump, doubles of a strong no trump bid, which, I mean, you need to look at their convention card or ask the opponent here what that indicates. And they say, you know, it's a normal no trump opening hand, then double is for penalty. Double is for penalty. So now let's talk a little bit about how opener actually does this with some example hands. Does anybody have any questions before we move on down the road here? Not so far? Okay. This is your hand as opener, and this is the auction here. North bids a club. I think you can see that's reasonable here. East bid a heart, South bid a spade, West bid 2 hearts. What do we bid here?
Double.
How many spades does your partner have?
He promises at least 4.
He promises 5 if you play negative doubles. So it makes a difference here whether or not you play negative doubles. If you don't play negative doubles yet, set support doubles aside until you learn those first. It is more important than the support double. I like support doubles a lot but I'm going to bang the drum for the negative double all day long, all day long. So let's say that you don't play negative doubles. What should North rebid here? If you don't play negative doubles, that one spade promises only 4 cards. In that case, North would double, wouldn't he? If you don't play negative doubles. Now, if you do play negative doubles and South has 4, he will use the double card. After 2 hearts, what is North going to bid here?
Double.
He might, but he knows his partner has only 4 spades. So if he doubles, he can tell his partner, well, I only have 3 card support with you. This is a hand worth about 16 points, though. I would think about rebidding my club suit. If my partner doubled here, showing only 4 spades, I might be more interested in a no trump contract eventually. I have a heart stop and I have a long club suit. If my partner has sufficient values, we might be able to play no trump somewhere. Now then, if you play negative doubles, though, 1 club, 1 heart, 1 spade promises 5. So with 3 card support and a hand worth about 16 points here, I mean, I've got 2 nice doubletons. I'd probably bid 3 spades myself. I know my partner has 5. He told me he did. And so when I raise, I am promising at least 3. I may have 4, but I'm promising 3. I know there's an 8 card fit. So I'm going to try to jump in there and do everything I can to elbow the opponents out of the way. I think my hand is worth a 3 spade call here. If you play negative doubles. If you don't, then you're going to have to use the support double to show 3 card support. Okay, now then, B. North opens club again. Boy, this is a horse of a different color, isn't it? East overcalls a heart. South bids 1 spade. West bids 2 hearts. What are you going to bid here? Anybody have a
spades.
thought?
3
spades.
spades.
Why do you think 3 spades? There's 14 high card points and there's a doubleton. That's 15, right? That's a little short for a 3 spade bid. 16 to 18 is the normal range. If you and your partner have agreed that you would bid 3 spades on this, then go ahead. But I would bid 2 spades. I have to draw the line somewhere. My values are pretty quacky. I have 2 aces, but everything else is queens and jacks. So I would tend to downgrade this hand because the values are less than prime. Bidder's choice.
Ella has a question.
Okay,
Ella.
hi Ella, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. You said to say 3 spades, you would have to have 15 or more points?
16, yes.
16.
16, yes. The normal range for a jump raise of responder suit is 16 to 18. This one over here, 8, has some distribution. This one has a little, well, not much. B is 4-4-3-2. This baby is 6-3-2-2. I have 14 high card points and 2 points for distribution. Here I have 14 high card points and only 1 with a relatively flat hand and a worthless doubleton in the opponent's suit. Notice here I have a stop in the opponent's suit. The lead will go through my hand, which may or may not be very good, but I do at least have something good in the opponent's suit here. So I never jump to the 3 level with only 15 points. My partner only promises 6. If he has 9, we'll be fine. But if he has 6 or 7, we won't. And I don't know about the rest of you, but if I count on my partner for 9, he has 6. You know, that's just the way life is for me. So I don't do it with 15.
Well, Susan, when you open with a major and your partner says 3, they limit their hand and they don't have to have as many points.
Well, that's right. When you open with a major and partner jumps to 3, he shows you 10, a good 10 to a ratty 12 and 4 card support. But this is different. Here, responder has bid and now opener is raising. This is different from openers bidding the major and responders raising, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Thank
but when my range for an invitational opening hand is 16 to 18, and that's pretty standard. Okay, next example. Mhm. Okay, here's a better hand. Number C here has 16 high card points in it, but can't open one no trump because of that small singleton in hearts. Classic 5, 4, 3, 1 hand. Opens a club. Hearts by the opponents here, spades by partner as per usual. What is this North person going to do here?
Double.
Double, sure. There's no ceiling on the points shown by the opener when he uses the support double. Notice that is more important than reversing the hand by bidding 3 diamonds here is what he'd have to do. This hand is a classic example of a hand that would consider reversing. It might be a shade light on points, change that ace of or king of diamonds to the ace, and it's definitely strong enough. Or even the jack of diamonds to the queen, and I would reverse without even thinking about it. But here it is more important to show your partner 3 card support. Now, if you play negative doubles, your partner has 5 of them. So if you play negative doubles, this is another 3 spade call. If you don't play negative doubles, you use the support double. See how helpful it is to know doubles that show 5 cards or show 3 card support. It really does come in handy and helps your bidding be much more accurate. The more accurate your bidding is, the more successful you'll be in your contracts. So that's all of that option. Let's move on down to D here. North opens a diamond, East passes. You're sitting north with this hand here is D. South bids a heart, West bids a spade. Now what are we going to bid here?
3 hearts.
At least, yeah. I would even toy with the idea of 4 because my hand is worth 19 points in support of hearts. I have a doubleton here. It's accompanied, or it's in the opponent's suit again, but I'm sitting behind the spade bidder. So this is all right. I'm not sitting in front of the spade bidder. Hopefully the spade bidder has the ace. But this is 18 high card points. And bidding hearts, I've seen a lot of people jump to 2 no trump with this hand. When you have a major suit fit and enough to jump to 2 no trump, you jump, but not to 2 no trump. You jump in the major suit. Here you can bid either 3 or 4. There's some psychology involved here. If my partner and I are having a good day, I'm probably going to bid 4. And even if we're having a bad day, I'm probably going to bid 4, thinking I need a board, So it depends on how frisky you feel and whether you had red meat for breakfast, I guess. But that's what I would do. I would be sorely tempted to bid 4 hearts with that. But 3, I would not argue with 3. I tend to be a little bit aggressive in my bidding sometimes, and I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just a matter of personal style. So,
And Sherry has a question.
yes, Sherry.
Okay, back on C, when you said that opener bids the double because there's no ceiling on the bidding of a double.
Right.
So what does responder bid after that?
Well, it depends on how many points he has.
Okay, so let's
we're gonna talk about responders rebids here in a minute, okay?
Okay, so basically you're just telling responder that, hey, I've got quite a few points here, so don't stop.
Well, yeah, if you play negative doubles and you know your partner has 5 spades here, then I would jump to 3 spades with this hand. If partner has 6 points, he'll pass. If he has 8 or 9, he'll bid the game.
Okay, so you could also bid 3 spades if you play negative doubles.
If you play negative doubles, you know your partner has 5 here.
Right.
If you don't play negative doubles, then show your partner that you have 3 card support. If he has 5 of them, then well, you'll play spades, and if he doesn't, you'll play one of your minor suits is what will happen.
Okay,
All
great.
right, okay, let's move on to E here. North opens a diamond, east passes, south bids a heart, west bids a spade. What are you going to do here?
Double.
Double, sure. They're not pretty hearts, but there are 3 of them. So it works. Same thing here on F now. This is much different, isn't it? This is a great big old hand. Let's see, 14, another 18 point, pretty square hand, isn't it? 1 diamond by north, east passes, south bids a heart, west bids a spade. Now what are we going to do?
Double.
Double. Before you took up the support double, you would jump to 2 no trump, wouldn't you? And then if you and your partner have some form of check back in your bidding box, you might find a 5-3 heart fit. But here you can tell your partner right off the bat, hey, I have 3 card support for you. And then you'll find out how many he has with his next bid. So even though you have what looks like a nice jump to 2 no trump here, when you play support doubles, put the double card on the table. Now then, bidding following the support double. The most important part of a convention is learning how to rebid following the use of the convention. In general, responder's second bid or his rebid is natural. He should ask himself, do we have the 8 card golden fit? If yes, then he's going to rebid that suit at the appropriate level. Remember, unlike a lot of artificial bids like Jacoby 2 no trump or splinter bids that set the trump suit, support doubles do not set the trump suit because there is no guarantee of an 8 card fit. So here's the way it goes with responder when he has 5 or more cards in his suit. This is what we're going to be talking about here. With a minimum hand, he bids 2 of the major, even if your right-hand opponent bid over your partner's double. If he didn't bid over your partner's double, remember, you've got to bid something. You don't want to leave that double in of that very low-level contract that the opener's right-hand opponent bid. We don't want the contract to be 1 spade double. If your partner used a support double, you've still got to bid something. Don't forget. You have to bid. You may think, oh, good, we've got an 8 card fit. Great, I can pass. Don't pass. You have to bid it. Now then, with a minimum hand, you're just going to bid it at the 2 level. That's regardless of what action your right-hand opponent took over that double. Now, if he jumped or something, you may have to think about bidding on, because in general, a jump bid like that is preemptive. But if you have 3 or 10 to 12 points, you should jump to 3 of that major suit to show that kind of hand. I have better than a minimum responding hand. I have enough to invite you to game in the major suit because I know we have an 8 card fit. It becomes a little more problematic when responder has only 4 cards in his suit. That means there's no golden fit. The problem with playing 4-3 fits, and I know that a lot of you have played them, I played them a lot when I first learned because I learned Gorin and I opened 4 card majors and your partner's raised with 3 card support. but we had more points in our hands when we opened than we do now. And so it worked out all right most of the time. But when you've got partners who open a flat 11 count, 4-3 fits become problematic. Remember, the most likely split of 6 outstanding cards is 4-2, not 3-3. So there's a decent chance that one of the opponents has as many trumps as you do. And then there is a small chance that one of them has 5, which is more than you do. That's a nightmare waiting to happen. I've had that happen to me a couple of times, and it wasn't fun, folks. I couldn't wait to get that handled. So here are your choices. If you have a stop in the opponent's suit, you bid no trump at the appropriate level. In other words, minimum responding hand, 1 no trump is the bid. Invitational level responding hand, 2 no trump is the appropriate bid. And if you have a game going hand, bid 3 no trump with that stop. The lead's coming up to your hand. Now, I'm going to warn you. Queen small, small is not a stop if the opponents have bid and raised a suit. That strongly indicates that your queen may get caught between the ace and king and may end up not being a stop at all. So if the opponents have bid and raised a suit, queen third is not a stop. You're taking your life in your hands if you bid no trump with a holding like that. If you don't have a stop to bid no trump, you can raise opener's minor suit with 4 or more card support. Yes, he may have only 3, but most of the time he will have at least 4. So 2 level, 6 to 10 points, 3 level, 11 to 12 points. If you have a weak hand that is unable to do anything else, in other words, you have a really weak hand, maybe that's 4-3-3-3, and here your 4-card major is, and I've got 6 points. Don't have a stop in the opponent's suit. I don't have 4 cards in my partner's minor suit. I just have to rebid 2 of my major suit and be content with playing a 4-3 fit. Maybe the opponents will give me a gift. Maybe the cards will lie favorably. You'll end up playing in a 4-3 fit, but sometimes that's your only option. Sometimes when you have a game available between you and your partner, sometimes the only makeable game is in a 4-3 fit. It's not your first choice, but sometimes it's necessary. If you have a very strong hand that cannot bid 3 no trumps, like I mentioned up here, and by strong hand, I mean the equivalent of an opening hand, but lacking a stopper in the opponent's suit, Q bid the opponent's suit. In this auction, that is asking your partner to bid no trump if you have a stopper in the suit. Because we don't have an 8-card fit. We have game going values between the 2 of us. We don't have the 8-card fit, but I can't bid no trump, partner. Can you? This is called a Western Q bid. When the opponents have bid and you bid their suit, asking for a stop, it's called a Western Q bid. It is absolutely forcing, as are all Q bids, and the auction cannot stop below 3 no trump, because in making this bid, the responder shows game going values. Now, if your right hand opponent bids over your partner's support double, you are allowed to pass. I'm weak, 6 or 7 points. I have only a 4-card major suit. Sometimes it may be headed by the 9 or the 8 or some such thing. You are allowed to pass in that instance. You only have 7 cards in your major suit, and you're so weak that you just don't want to give it a shot. Now, if, on the other hand, responder doubles at that point, rather than passing, it shows extra values with no 8-card fit. It says, I do have some values here, partner. Do you have another suit you can show me? So remember, Doubling shows extra values. That would mean 10 or more points, more than just a minimum responding hand. And this is if your right-hand opponent bids over the double. It's just like a takeout double. If your right-hand opponent bids over your partner's takeout double and you're advancer and you've got 3 points in your hand, you're allowed to pass. Same thing here. If you're really weak as responder and you only had one bid in you, and your right-hand opponent bids over that double, then you're off the hook. You have told your partner the only thing that you have to tell him about your hand. And as it turns out, there's no fit. So you are allowed to pass if an opponent bids following the double. Now, here's some examples. I think it's easier to tell.
Susan, before we get too far afield, we have a question that we just need to make. A couple of people have had this same question, and I'll let you address it. When a responder bids over the opponent, they're promising 5.
Well,
Is
that's
what-
if you play, remember, negative doubles.
Mhm.
If you open a minor, your left-hand opponent bids a heart, one spade by responder promises 5 when you play negative doubles, because if you have only 4, you would double instead. That's how opener knows that responder has 5 spades on that auction, is if they play negative doubles, then we don't have to guess. We know how many spades partner has. Because if he had only 4, he would double. Now, if the auction goes 1 club, 1 diamond, and responder bids a major suit, remember, to use a negative double over 1 club, 1 diamond, you have to have 4 cards in each major. If you don't have that, you have to bid whichever major suit you have, and the bid of that suit promises only 4. But when the auction goes 1 of a minor, 1 heart, 1 spade, and you play negative doubles, your partner has 5 spades. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's not a general rule. It is a rule if you play negative doubles.
Okay. I think that spawned a couple.
How many points are we talking about when you do these things?
Well, give me a specific example.
Well, like the negative double,
Oh,
as opposed to saying the suit.
Well, remember, when responder uses a negative double or bids a new suit, he's unlimited, 6 or more. There is no ceiling on it. 1 no trump by responder is a limiting bid, limits his hand to 6 to 9 points. But a new suit by a responder who has not previously passed is unlimited and forcing. Absolutely.
I do have a question, Susan. This is Deborah.
Uh-huh.
If you double after your opponent bids a major, but your double is not really for 4 spades if they bid a heart, is that permissible or not?
Well, your partner could be forgiven if he thinks it shows 4 spades. When it goes 1 club, 1 heart double, that pretty much shows 4 cards in the unbid major and at least tolerance for the unbid minor or for opener's minor. One of those 2 things. That's the use of the negative double. If you play that double by responder, there is something other than negative, your partner's going to have to alert it because it isn't standard. I'll tell you what, let's move on to these last couple of slides. Time's getting a little bit short and I would like to get finished here. West opens a diamond. East bids a heart. South overcalls a spade. West doubles and East rebids 1 no trump. This is a hand that has only 4 hearts in it. It has 6 to 9 points. Remember, a bid by responder of 1 no trump limits his hand to 6 to 9 points. And since the opponents have bid, it promises a stopper in spades. Had their bid no, for instance, 1 diamond pass, 1 no trump by responder is a simple catch-all bid. I have no 4-card major. I don't have enough to bid at the 2 level. I can't support your suit. It's an I don't have bid and doesn't promise stops in all the unbid suits. But in this case, where the opponents have bid, East is minimum. He has 4 hearts in his hand because he declined to play in hearts after openers support double. East says 1 no trump, partner. I think this is where we need to play. Now, let me mention something else here too. Until the beginning of 2020, support doubles were alertable. That is no longer the case. In 2020, the ACBL decided that you no longer have to alert support doubles. So even though your convention card may show it in red, that is no longer the case. They do not have to be alerted. So almost forgot to throw that in. Sorry. All right. Here's another example. 1 diamond by West. North passes. East bids a heart again. South bids a spade. And we have another support double. North passes again. And this time East bids 2 diamonds. This time he shows 6 to 9 points. This is a rebid at the minimum level here. He has 4 hearts and he has 4 or more diamonds. Remember, if you use convenient minors and open 1 club when you have 3 of each and 1 diamond when you have 4 of each, or otherwise open your longer minor, about 97% of the time, West will have 4 or more diamonds in his hand when he opens 1 diamond. So East will have 4 or more diamonds. He could have more, but it's okay with just 4. If he had 10 to 12 points, he would bid 3 diamonds. No 8-card fit. Here's another place we could play, partner. Again, West opens a diamond, East bids a heart, South bids a spade. West doubles. North passes. East bids 2 hearts. Okay, hey, I've rebid my hearts. Now, here's a little caveat. Opener should not go wild assuming that there is an 8-card fit. Responder is showing 6 to 9 points here with his rebid of 2 hearts. It's at the minimum level. So he has 6 to 9 points. He may or may not have 5 hearts. He noticed that North passed following the double. He has to bid something. He doesn't have a spade stop. He can't bid no trump. If he doesn't have at least 4-card support for diamonds, he can't support diamonds. So he may be stuck for a bid and say, oh, I'm going to have to play 2 hearts and a 4-3 fit. This is an indication that he expects his partner to pass. 2 hearts is to play here, unless West has a considerably better than minimum hand. But notice he cannot leave the double in. He has to bid something.
Let me interject there. That's the one where East really needs to have a bit of a poker face. You can't go into the tank, wiggle around. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh my God. And then bid 2 hearts.
Yeah.
Everybody at the table will know you've got only 4 and it's unauthorized information. So poker face on this one.
Yeah, you bet. All right. West opens a diamond, East bids a heart, South bids a spade, and West doubles again. North passes, and lo and behold, East bids 2 spades. He's showing an opening hand himself. I mean, anytime you Q bid in this kind of a situation as responder, you're going to game. You're going to game. Absolutely. You've got to have a game going hand to do this. But he didn't want to jump to 3 no trump. I mean, he's got a 4-card heart suit here, but he doesn't have a spade stop. That makes no trump problematic, doesn't it? So he's bidding 2 spades, asking his partner if he can bid no trump. If West also lacks a spade stop, then they may end up playing 4 hearts on a 4-3 fit. Will it make? Well, it might. Many times, 4-3 fits will produce a game if it's the right 4-3. But you just don't generally want to play there because a lot of times one of the opponents has as many trumps as you do. But this is the kind of hand that is looking for no trump, but has no stop in the opponent's suit. It's absolutely forcing. Wes can't say, what's my partner doing? Remember, all strange bids are forcing, and Q bids are strange bids because you're bidding the opponent's suit. So this is absolutely forcing. Wes has to bid something.
And it needs to be alerted.
Yes, it should be. West opens a diamond, east bids a heart, south bids a spade, north doubles, or west doubles, and north bids 2 spades. East pass shows a minimum responding hand with only 4 hearts in it. He's not interested in the 3 level. He says, partner, they have the spades. Then what has the spades owns the hand lots of times. And in this case, it's not east-west. So if West has extra values, he can consider bidding on. Maybe he has 6 diamonds or something and might want to bid 3 diamonds, but East is finished. And that's what he's telling his partner there. Now then, here's the answer sheet. The last page is the answer sheet.
Ella?
Thank you. On Q bidding, your partner is the one that has to say alert. Are
Yes.
all Q bids are alertable, right?
No, they're not necessarily.
Most of them are not alertable because it's clear that you don't intend to play in that suit. However, in the case where it's a Western Q and it's specifically asking if partner has a stop in the opponent's suit, I think it should be alerted. That makes sense? So Western Q is by partnership agreement.
Yes.
And the example 4 there, that Q bid is a Western Q bid. It's sometimes hard to distinguish between a Western Q and a Q bid that says, I love your suit, partner, and it's limit raise or better, but we can talk about that at another time.
Yeah, this is, yeah, that's here. If it's not a limit raise or better of diamonds, then you should explain to the opponents and be aware that there's also something called the Eastern Q bid that shows a stop in the opponent's suit and asks partner, do you have a stop in the other one? Eastern Q bids show a stop, Western Q bids ask for a stop. So be very clear on which one you and your partner want to use. In this part of the country, it's Western Q bids by a large margin. Hi, this is Susan. Thanks for stopping by the Oklahoma Collective's YouTube channel. Basically, this channel shows recordings of our free 1-hour bridge lessons for advancing players that we offer every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. If you would like to join us, send your contact information to the email address shown on the screen, and we'll be happy to send you the link. If you would like to follow our channel and be notified when a new recording is uploaded, just click the Oklahoma Collective button below. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.